Hi everyone, welcome back to next episode of the Impact series hosted by 40. Today, really happy to be joined by Nils Meinefield, who is the CEO at Hibyrd. So Nils,
Hi.
thanks for jumping on today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Michael.
My pleasure. Well, my pleasure indeed. So look, so Nils, look, obviously for those people out there who are not familiar with Hibyrd, look, can you give us like a quick introduction about the company? Also the kind of referring to the climate issue that Hibyrd are helping to tackle, and of course what your company's solution to that problem is.
Yeah, pleasure. So what we are aiming to do is to help big energy consumers to reduce their electricity consumption, which obviously has a major impact as well on the environment. As you know, commercially used property is the biggest CO2 emitting block of all, and so reducing CO2 emissions in that kind of field can have a very high impact. And our solution, which addresses the voltage in the grids, can yield 10% savings from the get-go, and then potential additional savings on the journey towards net zero, which is where we want to guide our customers towards.
Yeah. So it's all. So I think you've got a term for it, though, haven't you? It's energy as a service. What do you refer, energy savings as a service?
Yeah, correctly. So energy savings as a service means that that we provide the service to the customer to generate the reduction in consumption and the savings. And the way we do it means that the customer doesn't have to have the upfront investment, so we take care of that. We take a cut of the savings, typically 50%. So out of these 50%, we refinance our equipment, our services, and with the other 50%, they basically add to the customer's bottom line without them having to basically do anything. They need to allow us to come in and do our job. But it can have a quite significant impact on their financial margins, especially when they're a low margin business, which with a high energy consumption, it can be very significant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's very relevant in today's environment. You know, there's an energy crisis. The energy prices are through the roof, of course, and if you think about that for the average person, bills have doubled. But that, if you look, and if you're looking at perhaps a hotel or something like that, who are already paying huge amounts for energy, for that to double is just is going to hugely eat into their bottom line, like you say. So if they can save and get some money back for that, obviously that is a great model in itself. But what I really like about, I know we've discussed this before, I kind of feel it's like a bit of a magic triangle. So we're not just talking about saving money, we're talking about cutting down emissions as well. So a direct correlation between the savings of energy and the savings of CO2, but also you're financing it up front, so you're paying for it up front, so it's not going to cost them anything to put it in. So it just feels like a win-win-win for me.
We bring money into the building if you let us. I mean, that is how. I mean, fundamentally, of course, it's a redirection of cash flows, but the important part, of course, is that the net cash flow improves, and at the same time, as you already mentioned, I mean, many companies they already undertake quite a bit to reduce their CO2 emissions, and this is just another important step on the journey. And for the to speak about the hotel example a little bit more, perhaps, just using our service actually means additional margin for a hotel. It's like 4 additional rooms that they don't have to build. So which is, I'm speaking about the middle class 100-room average hotel, yeah. But
Yeah,
it's quite significant in a competitive environment with high utility bills, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I know we've discussed it. I said it. I love it. I think it's a no-brainer. So I couldn't see why someone wouldn't want to do it. What I mean, what are some of the obstacles that you've faced, or that you are facing in terms of kind of the uptake with this?
Of course, it's the length of the sales cycle is is always long. I mean, I agree with you. It's a no-brainer to do it, but nonetheless, there's the checks and balances, especially in large corporations. So everyone has their say, and even though it's a well-established and proven model, you are you're at the core of any operation, because you where the electricity gets fed into the building, and if anything doesn't work, then of course operation stops. At the same time, we are supplying several major hospitals in Berlin with our technology. They have the emergency rooms, they have the surgery rooms. I mean, all the literally vital functions
Yeah, of course.
of the building run over our system. And so there's really no reason to put up these obstacles. So I think what we could hope for is speeding up of sales cycles, and of course the more projects that you have handled, the easier it
Yeah,
likely will become. But I mean, fundamentally, the feedback is always positive, and the
yeah,
doors are open. As you said, I mean, prices are high. They will likely remain higher than they used to be in the past, even when the grid is going to be 100% green. It's still very significant to reduce consumption, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly right. Okay, well, and so I suppose this has been a project you've been working on for a while now, Nils. But how did the idea come about? Where did you get the idea from?
So let's say the original idea was to build a company that as I said in the beginning, helps to unleash the hidden potentials in buildings. Because there's lots of data, hidden nuggets, or whatever you'd like to call it, and we want to help to get the data out there, use the data in a useful way, and generate savings. And along this journey, we also came across this technology, which, as I said, has been proven to work, is now enriched with intelligence and data monitoring, and so it allows us to also offer performance-based contract models. But we thought this was a very important step along the way, kind of the first step to get into the building, to start collecting data and using it in a sensible way, and to basically deliver impact from the get-go. So
Yeah,
if you ordered your device today, we could probably have it with you in 3 to 4 months, depending on where you are and the size of the location. But it's a relatively quick way to generate significant savings.
And for those, obviously, we'll include the link to your website in the description for this, so people can check it out. But the solution itself, is it hardware, software, mix of the two?
Yeah, as you rightly said, it's a mix of the two. So initially we install a piece of hardware that we pre-finance as well, so it doesn't create any hurdles on that front. And then we enrich it with software. So the software allows us to do the monitoring and
Yeah,
also show you exactly how much we have saved for you. And then in the future, a bit further along down the line, we will thanks to an AI software that we are currently developing, we will be able to feed back information to the building and override existing building management systems to generate significant additional savings on top of what we're already doing. So we hope to have the first product ready in the second half of this year, and then continue to roll it out. But the two things, they go hand in hand, and they complete each other, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Well, I mean, it looks like it's been an exciting journey so far. Yeah, with Hibyrd. What does the future look like? What does the next 3-5 years look like in terms of the development and of the company?
Yeah. So I mean, ideally, and we already succeeded a little bit on that front, but we would like to work with big customers who have multiple locations, so that of course we start with one and then roll it out, which for us as a company allows us to scale and also to generate big impacts. And
Yeah.
when we founded the company, one of the ambitions was to I don't know if you have come across the term the gigacorn. So it's companies that save 1 gigaton of CO2 per annum while being commercially viable. And I think that is a long-term ambition of ours. We will have to equip quite a few factories to get there, but it is not completely unrealistic to get there. And so you have to set your ambitions high, and this is one of our long-term targets, of course.
Yeah, I love that. So I know we spoke about that before, the gigacorn. It's not something that I'd come across before, actually. So I'm glad that you've kind of spoken about that, but also elaborated on that a little bit as to what that actually means. Because we've all heard of unicorns, but look, gigacorns are the way forward, I think. So
we like the mix, the gigacorn and the unicorn. So 1 billion valuation and 1 gigaton of savings. That is the perfect matchup.
Yeah, I mean, look, the more gigacorns, the better. That's it's needed in order to kind of get ourselves to net zero, as quickly as possible. We need as many companies that are doing things like yourself, Nils and Hibyrd, to kind of really fast track, for us to really fast track that. So those are the questions from my side, Nils. It's been great to speak to you, and great to have you as a guest on the Impact series. We'll include, as I said, we'll include a link to your website, and I think we'll include a link to your LinkedIn profile as well. So if people want to get in touch, hopefully it's been good and it kind of spreads the work. And I just want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for your time, Nils. I'll catch you soon.
See you.
Bye-bye.